Table or truth?
We were going off on a tangent though because we were talking about something else here.
You were talking about October 4th.
Oh, October 4th. Yeah. Okay. All right. So what the hell? October 4th, I guess, is not a day of woe. You've heard it here. Hopefully, you hear this before October 4th, so you'll have some solace before this apocalyptic day comes upon us. I personally still have my cautionary, concerns about this. People like to label me the conspiracy theorist or whatever, but I take comfort in what you're saying. And I want to say I do with the actual website, the FEMA website, but I don't know if I can trust them, so whatever. This is a perfect time to transition, actually, to the conversation we were having last week, if you will, on the Maui fires. Remember that?
Yes, I do.
Did you find any information on the...
I'll tell you the truth, I did not research. I
That's
do have my notes here to research it.
Please,
I did not research whether or not people were being denied access to their land. I can understand from a safety standpoint that there are restrictions because the roads are out and people can't get in certain places, but I did not research that.
Okay, that's fine.
But I did look at your friend, was it Russell Brand?
Russell Brand, yes.
Yes, you said the mainstream media didn't cover him. And
they did. They demonized him.
Demonized him?
Yeah.
No, they reported what it was. And one was MSNBC, Chris Hayes. And all he said was that Brand was accused of rape, sexual assault, and abuse for women that have between 2006 and 2013. And the second woman alleged that Brown assaulted her when she was 16.
Okay, so I just saw an episode of The Hill on this, by the way, so I almost feel like I'm repeating some of the comments on that show. But one of the points one of the pundits made, who was more pro, instead of guilty until proven innocent by the court of public opinion manipulation, right? As soon as you have somebody who's alleged, like the problem is alleged, as we've seen historically, doesn't necessarily mean all the facts are 100% straight. So it's kind of unfair to tarnish a person's reputation on the alleged. I can understand the temptation to do it, but in all fairness, it alleged, like when the media throws an alleged claim or publishes something where somebody was alleged this,
right.
It's a potential. I know the loophole here. It's not legal.
A loophole.
It is a loophole because technically it's slander. It's subliminal, passive-aggressive slander.
This person, it's not slander. It's alleged that a person was accused of something. That's alleged.
So it's an op-ed almost.
It's not an op-ed.
But somebody who's alleging something, that's an opinion as well.
Not if it actually happened.
We don't know that actually. Right, it's alleged.
So it's not an opinion.
If it's alleged, right?
Yes.
That is an opinion if it was made up until we can prove without a doubt. There's a very strong insinuation something might have happened. The problem is that as soon as you say alleged anything, you may not be able to throw somebody in the slammer right away.
Right.
But you can definitely tarnish their reputation for them. It is a passive-aggressive form of slander. Okay? Amber Heard allegedly, right, was the victim of Johnny Depp's terrible, and I saw the videos. I mean, he had his moments, but overall, the actual court, once the proceedings went out, right, those alleged accusations turned out to be actually more on Amber Heard's part. I'm not saying that's the case of all the victims here, in no way. But what I'm saying is...
Well, it's no longer alleged because she was found guilty.
Okay, but the fact was that for a year and a half, Johnny Depp's like his buying power in Hollywood, his ability to like make money really was tarnished because of an allegation.
Right. Well,
that doesn't seem cool, especially after historically we've seen what happens when people can easily use it as a weapon.
Hey, I watched a lot of the trial.
Yeah.
And let's say Johnny Depp was not innocent in Jose.
No, he wasn't innocent.
He made
neither is Russell Brand
some serious misjudgment, and along with his character, he's being, known as being an unusual character, and again, as an actor and artist, that fits him. But
and so is Amber Heard,
right? And his relationship with her, let's say, was not a healthy one.
No, it certainly seemed pretty toxic.
But dealing with what I found interesting, and you were talking about legend and how it can ruin someone's reputation. What I found interesting about Brand was on the other side, where I'm of the mind of let the investigation begin, and then when we get some more evidence, then we can make a decision on whether we are going to support this person or denounce them.
No, I agree.
But with Brand, right? And again, it's alleged all these things. You do have some ladies. All I heard from Brand.
Who are the ladies?
I'm sorry?
Who are the ladies, actually? I never got that far.
Oh, their names?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't research whether or not their names are out there.
Well, in all fairness, if you're making an allegation, wouldn't you?
Well, it depends on the court, or there's evidence and you have to wait for that to come
But if there's no evidence, then doesn't it seem kind of for good or bad, doesn't it seem a little bit pretentious to assume?
No, you said there's no evidence. You don't know whether there's evidence or not. If there is a prosecution, they have evidence, whether witness statements or whatever.
Let me put it this way.
And some of it, but before you put, let me get to my point going the other way.
Right.
When I hear something, and a good case of that, which I was not happy with, was President Obama, where his friend, who was a professor and who was challenged outside his house by a police officer, I believe it was Somerville. And the professor said it was a racial incident and it was motivated because he was black.
Yeah, I heard about that. I remember that.
And so what happened was the media comes up to the president and asks him a question. And instead of saying, well, let's see what happens with the investigation.
You talk about Obama or Trump?
Obama. I apologize if I said Trump. Obama.
No, you didn't. I was just curious.
And so instead he made a comment about this.
Yep.
Saying that the police overreacted, not knowing the story. And so when the investigation happens, it's found out the police were justified in how they handled it. And then so what Obama did was have the officer and the professor, get together with him and have a beer. So, but again, instead of waiting.
Was he a teacher or something? Like a fifth grade teacher? Kiss and make up? I mean.
What? Obama was wrong.
How about this? Obama buys them both a beer and apologizes for jumping on the bandwagon, maybe? Or?
Well, he had a beer with the two parties.
Now, wait a minute. Obama, just so I'm clear here, Obama did not insinuate that the Poe was in the wrong here.
Yes, he did.
He did.
Said it.
So
he said the police overreacted.
Okay, so
he heard what he heard was the side of the story from his friend instead of waiting for the investigation.
Okay, so shouldn't Obama get a fine for partially slandering the Boston Police Department?
That's not slander.
It's alleged slandering. How about that?
It's not alleged slander.
It is alleged slandering. It's the same thing as alleged victim of an alleged crime. It's just not on the other side.
Here's where I'm going to hit you with it.
What?
Obama gave his opinion.
Okay, so let me get this straight. These victims gave their opinion.
No.
It was alleged that something happened. And until we can prove it, then as far as I know, it's hearsay. It's not an absolute. That's fair. But the real problem here is...
you're calling it hearsay. When a witness who was there states what happened, that's not hearsay.
If this person can't prove yet that, and I'm not saying
we don't know that, but
so anybody can just come up with any accusation, right? I guess it's like filing a lawsuit, right? And now you have to sit there and spend God knows how many dollars in court fees for clearing out your name. There should be, if you're found not a victim, in all fairness, I think this is what happened to Amber Heard, right? Then you got the reverse. You got to pay the the fees. I don't care if it's
in some cases,
a man or a woman.
In some cases, that's exactly what happens.
Okay.
Is that the court decides that you have to pay the plaintiff legal fees, along with
emotional damage and all that crap.
Well, that's up to the judge.
In the media that seem to spin in a way without, jumping the gun. So knowing the power of their influence, right? Jumping the gun and therefore causing a media shitstorm for a guy like Russell Brand. And he even came out admitting that, years ago he wasn't a saint or anything. And I think people see that. He's evolved into, I think, a much more at least articulate and philosophical guy than he was making the what was it called? The Pineapple Express? Wasn't he in there?
Didn't you say that he was a douche also?
No, that was Andrew Tate.
Oh, Tate.
Good God, look at you just mixing them all up.
Well, I'm not hip on my...
Not hip on your pop culture. So are you the best person to actually make an opinion on this?
Well, no, but what I was saying is that, where these accusations are alleged until, whether they go to court and things are proven, what I found on the other end is those who are supporting them, again, without some determination by a party that this either actually happened or it didn't.
Okay, that's fair. You mean like sycophants who will die on a hill?
No, these aren't sycophants. Because all right, let me roll it down. Tucker Carlson criticized the. What he said was he criticized the drug company. He said, if you criticize the drug company, question the war in Ukraine, and you can be pretty sure this is going to happen. So this is part of that, because Brand criticized that, the man is coming out to get you.
Doesn't seem like such a stretch these days. But
Alex Jones said, questions the timing, saying this happened after Brand questioned the New World Order.
Yeah, the timing seems a little coincidental.
Your boy Andrew Tate.
What do you mean, my boy? I told you already.
Andrew Tate called these allegations on Brand a matrix attack.
You understand the analogy, right?
Yes. Elon Musk says, I support Russell Brand. That man is not evil.
If you watch the show.
Finally, Donald Trump Jr., while you're pouring your...
It's like the eighth bowl, man. I got the munchies, dude.
Donald Trump Jr. said, one day they'll be coming for you. I don't believe in this much coincidence, and neither should you.
Okay, so is any of that just hogwash once again?
Well, no. The thing is, it works on both sides.
Should the people not be concerned?
No, people should be concerned.
Okay, we agree on that.
But again, under United States law, person is innocent until proven guilty. However, I think as a company who I may, spend advertising dollars on you, and if you are accused of something that I do not agree with, I have actually a responsibility to my shareholders. No, until maybe just hold off or stand by, or my word should be, well, they're going to have an investigation, and we'll wait till after the investigation to see what.
You're an articulate guy. You're intelligent, and I'm not trying to be like facetious here. You do realize how this could easily this trick could be a weaponization, though, by any political enemies of Russell Brand, right? You clearly can see how this is an issue. This is, I think, what, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is what the actual, the public.
I don't.
Has.
I
okay,
think
let me spell it out for you.
Paranoid people.
Okay, so let me spell it out for you, everybody.
Other influencers who want to back him, are coming out with allegations that the man is coming out to get. Russell Brand is not that important. Are
you kidding
me?
The
New World Order is going to come out
once again. Let's
hire all these women, including a 16-year-old, to make these allegations.
Let's look up the
just to discredit him.
Let's look up the rankings of Russell Brand on YouTube, just because obviously he's not that influential. So let's look up Russell Brand.
Evidently he is. I'm not familiar with them because again,
you're making allegations.
I'm not making allegations.
You're allegedly insinuating that he's not that big, but you don't have any proof of it.
No. I'm saying that he's not that big that the man is going to come after him.
What do you have for proof of that?
That's my opinion.
Okay, that's an opinion.
Yes.
But you never watch YouTube. You don't know how the bots work on YouTube. No disrespect. I'm just saying. Like if I was to go on YouTube right now, right? Mm-hmm. Russell Brand, YouTube popularity. Okay. Do you not agree that YouTube is a tool that is very intimidating for the mainstream media because influencers like Tim Pool get more hits? You don't think so?
No.
Okay. Well, let's see. Russell Brand, how many subscribers does he have? 6.65 million subscribers. It's pretty damn good. Russell Brand, let's just look at his top picks of this month. Tucker Carlson, world's first exclusive. So he's talking to Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson's not really a big dear to the New World Order, if you will. COVID czar admits lockdowns were never. Well, let's just look this up. We're never about science. Okay, that's another big hit piece that he has. Okay, that sounds like something that's going against the narrative, right, of the experts, right, the so-called experts. Let's see. Why we are sending illegal cluster bombs to Ukraine. Okay, that's another one.
Just to let you know, I agree with them on the cluster bombs need to be questioned, or discussed.
But if the fucking mainstream media never goes into doing expose pieces like we were talking about a week or two.
When you say expose piece,
like again, we're gonna go back to this recurring theme.
No. You say the mainstream media.
Yeah, the mainstream media. Why aren't they doing these hit pieces like Russell Brand?
When you say hit pieces,
okay, let's just do the math quickly, right? Russell Brand has 6.65 million subscribers. Man? Oh, it fell and it cracked the screen. I guess why I have the other phone. Russell Brand has... So
instead of fixing that, you just buy another phone.
Yeah, right there. You see it right there. That's the other phone.
No. But instead of just going to the App Store...
It still works. It just has cracks. Big deal.
So then why did you buy another phone?
Because the yuppie side of me was like, this one's going to die eventually. I might as well buy a new one. So there's a new one.
You just could have replaced the glass and then everything would have been hunky-dory.
I think that costs a little bit more, but that's fine.
Okay. All
right, let's not get sidetracked here. The point is, Russell Brand has a clientele of 6.65 million subscribers as of now. The topics that he's going into, ironically, are things that call me an uneducated conspiracy theorist, and the 6.65 million people that subscribe, not even the people that have not subscribed yet, but just like to listen to his show, okay? It seems that he's putting out entertainment, right?
Okay.
That the public wants to hear. And it's based on the news.
Okay.
You agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, so if I'm a major news organization, okay, and assuming I didn't live in the 80s when things just seemed to be more common sense, but maybe Superman 2 screwed me up and gave me the wrong perception of what the news was this whole time. If I'm a news agency, right, and I look up Maui fires, what really happened, I would still be doing investigations till I get to the really fucking bottom of that, right? I'd be doing investigations on the, what is it called, the Niru virus that's breaking out supposedly in Bombay, right? People obviously want to know what the real truth is there. I want to know why Russell Brand, ironically, is getting so demonized. But I want to hear all partial sides of the thing. I want a piece within my news agency that tells me human psychology too. It says, beware. We're writing this article about Russell Brand's alleged allegations. Fair enough. Okay, it is news, right? We're going to put a disclaimer, knowing what we know about human psychology, because we're the experts, right? And we're going to tell you, though, beware of the title. Do not let it mislead you. Russell Brand is technically innocent until proven guilty. All right. We're not giving an opinion either way, but we do not want to be responsible for swaying the public opinion if, in the case, this accusation is not correct. So please do not pass judgment yet. We will get you all the facts we can, folks, as things go along. We're going to do our best to actually be a real news agency and give you the most factual things we can, the Epic Times.
Would you agree that Russell Brand is a public figure?
So what? He's a human being.
Would you agree that Russell Brand is a public figure?
No.
No, he's not.
I just felt like saying that. Sorry. Okay. Yes, I agree he's a public figure.
Okay. So a public figure who is accused of some things is not newsworthy?
I didn't say that. I said, like, he's newsworthy, but as the news source, because I'm such a dignified entity out there giving information, right? I have to remind my audience, I have to shepherd my sheep in a way.
Wow.
What is that demeaning?
Yeah. If you are a journalist, you're not shepherding sheep.
Well, I wonder what journalists think of their public.
Is telling the truth.
You're not spinning the truth.
No.
You're not, let's see. So if you're telling the truth, you wouldn't have asked questions like I just did at the beginning of this show about preventive healthcare. Why wasn't that pushed during the lockdowns? Why didn't any journalist? How does a moron clerk like myself come up with that idea? But I've never heard anybody write a piece about that, even an op-ed in like any of the major news networks. Why wasn't that pushed during COVID? Right? That's a fair op-ed, right?
What? You're saying that no one...
Preventive healthcare being an actual tool to fight COVID.
What, you didn't like hydroxychloroquine?
Even that, like, do more research until you can absolutely skewer Joe Rogan and make him look like a total buffoon. Go ahead, like, just keep going, throw in the facts until it's overwhelming where people are like, that's enough, right?
It can't be overwhelming.
Why not?
Overwhelming because you have those who swear up and down by Rogan. They won't believe anybody else.
They're not going to change their opinion. But there's still a lot of moderates.
Same thing with President Trump.
No, but there's still a lot of moderates that are asking questions.
Hydroxychloroquine, and the CDC came out and said that...
You get what I'm saying, though, right? The news, these are fair, like, talking points, fair topics to investigate if you're a newspaper, right? Why don't you look this shit up? Like, what? I don't understand. Why don't you investigate for these things? Because it's obvious the public is definitely interested in getting to the bottom of a lot of these unsolved mysteries, right? Even if they're conspiracy theories.
So you go to Brand to get your information.
I wouldn't just go to Brand, but Brand gives me or brings up talking points or plants thoughts in my head that I may not have actually thought of on my own. Okay. And why is it, aside from free speech being what it is, right? Why is that? Isn't that technically what the news is doing too? Like they're doing op-eds all the time. Why don't they align with what Brand's saying? He's not saying anything that irrational, right?
What did you just read?
Okay, let's go into the list again. Ready?
What was that about COVID?
Okay, that was me pulling a Russell Brand, right?
Oh, so.
No, I didn't lie to my audience.
You did. You were reading down the list.
No, that's not what I said. You can replay this, folks. That's not what I said. What I'm saying here is, look, I went over the list before, right? Tucker Carlson interview, right? COVID czar admits lockdowns were never. Okay, I got to click this thing. Okay, Tucker. COVID czar admits lockdowns were never about science. That's Russell Brand. That sounds actually like what I was talking about, but I don't know if he was talking about preventive healthcare, right? So there you go. That's an interesting one. What happened in the Maui fires? A lot of people still want to read more about that. Are we being silenced? Let's look at this one, right? The battle for free speech. Well, that doesn't sound like a lot of people feel like our First Amendment rights are being silenced. Why doesn't the Why does the media actually join on the bandwagon? I don't understand. Why wouldn't they? They're catering to the general audience.
Your
right?
free speech.
Well, if I'm a conservative, right, and I am on YouTube and I say something that goes against the narrative, right, then I get demonetized, I get blacklisted, I can get canceled.
If you quote misinformation that may be dangerous to the public. And again, I am a private company. I make the rules for my company.
Okay, so you ultimately use my platform, which is why people are going to Rumble. By the way, go to Rumble, guys, if you don't want to pull up with this bullshit, just so you know.
Go to Rumble.
It's a little more raunchy.
You won't get 6 million subscribers.
Yeah, because a lot of people have been pushed by the media establishment to assume YouTube's the only option. Because ironically, the establishment doesn't actually talk much about Rumble. They just kind of leave that in the back burner.
Hey, Russell, go to Rumble.
My question
get
is,
off of YouTube.
Why doesn't the media want to at least join in the bandwagon for seeking truth? Because I mean, these are legit questions, right? Man, I could go on, but we spend the whole show here just like basically bombarding the paradox to this claim that the media is, the bastion of truth and free speech and open-mindedness. But I don't know what to say, man. I mean, the evidence is overwhelming. Just go on Russell Brand's channel, guys, and look up his topics, and then just see if he's a real conspiracy theory nut. I'd say he's eccentric. Never really cared for his original movies, but as I listen to his podcast, I wouldn't say I'm a disciple of Russell Brand, but I do say I think it is interesting, and I hate to admit or agree with, was it Donald Jr., that this seems to be a weird coincidence, or one of those guys said it, that the World Economic Forum, whatever, the elusive they are doing a hit piece on, the timing's just odd, right? Why weren't these accusers 5 years ago? That's the part that I think a lot of people have an issue with. The common plebeian, I mean, like the serfs out there, not the upper crust, but just the common, blue collar proletariat, right? I don't know why these wishes are not respected. Like, do people want to get to the bottom of that? That's fair, right?
People want to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
What is best in life? Hitting a like and subscribing to the channel, and sharing it with your friends and those you love, and even your enemies.